Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I would like to call this meeting to order. Thank you for joining us during our virtual MLS breakfast meeting. My name is Nanette Ong of Coldwell Banker George Realty. A few housekeeping tips. All participants will be muted upon entry into the meeting. Should you have any questions or comments, please feel free to enter in the chat box and it will be addressed accordingly. Please remember to join us weekly as we have our virtual MLS breakfast meetings every Thursday at 9 a.m. You may register in advance for this meeting at the address displayed on the screen, or you may register through the emails you receive weekly. After registering, you will receive a confirmation email containing information about joining the meeting. Please also remember to follow WSGVR social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You may also follow us on our YouTube channel where we have our pre-recorded videos. WSGVR also introduced a new text messaging service. For updates, please text the letters WSGVR to 72727. Or you may also find information on our website at WSGVAR.com. A little about me. My name is Nanette Ong, and I am your August MLS Program Chair from Coldwell Banker George Realty. Aside from what's displayed on the screen, I'd like to share a little more fun fact about me. My first job was at Old Pasadena, 21 Choices Frozen Yogurt. They had a sign at their window saying, "Now hiring smiling faces." So my friend and I walked in there to apply for a job. And they weren't kidding about hiring smiling faces because they expected us to smile, smile, smile. It was a fun job, but the hard work was smiling because they wanted to smile all the time. So share a little bit about yourselves. What was your first job? We'd like to hear more about you as well. Please type it in the chat box up to a minute so that we may continue our attention to the rest of the meeting. Today's agenda consists of our affiliate spotlight, Unita Wu of Home Warranty of America, followed by our president's message, Mindy Ye, 2020 WSGVR president, and then by our speaker, Michael Lau, director of sales of our GLIDE program, our new GLIDE program. Also, after that will be attendance drawing, and to be eligible for today's raffle, you must be a WSGVR member, and your name must be displayed to win. We will not accept telephone numbers. So now, we move on to our affiliate spotlight, brought to you by the affiliate committee. James Chen as chair, with Cosmo Sanchez as vice chair. Unita has been in the real estate industry for the past 22 years and has been working at Home Warranty of America for the past 13 years. She is multilingual in English, Mandarin, and Indonesian. Please let's welcome Unita Wu. Lights, camera, action on you, Unita.
Thank
the
you.
Stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Unita Wu. I'm with Home Warranty of America, and we are the 13 months home warranty. So if you don't know our bright orange, you might know us by our nail files. So something about me is I was actually Chinese. I was born in Indonesia, and I came here when I was 14 years old because we have a civil war in Indonesia. So I came here with my younger brother. So when I graduated from high school, I started working for a Remax company for 5 years as an office assistant and continue working for a title company for another 4 years. So currently I am working for Home Warranty of America for the last 13 years. 13 years for the 13 months home warranty, hence is the lucky 13 this year. When I'm not working, I enjoy spending time with my family. I have a husband, Desmond, and my 2 daughters, Simone and Avery. And we like to eat, to travel. And if you see, we just caught a fish right there when we're doing some fishing this year. And also this year, quarantine time, I actually celebrate my big 4-0 birthday. And something that you don't know about me, my daughter and I actually share a same birthday every year, and which is a blessing, and I love it. but then check out that cake. Like my cake is a really small cake, and while her cake is a jumbo cake, right? So I do speak Chinese, Mandarin, Indonesian, and I pride myself on the customer service and helping out with my clients. Our home warranty actually have many different brochures. So if you're looking for a new home warranty, please let me know. I'm happy to help you and connect with me. And if I don't know you yet, please get to know each other and connect with me. And I will love to earn your business in the near future. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you and have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.
Thank you, Unita. Thank you for sharing a bit more about yourself. It's great to hear about your family.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Now to today's top affiliates. Please remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. We'll start with ADINI of ADINI Environmental Service. Ami, please unmute your.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Good morning to everybody. Have a great day. It's a beautiful summer. Go to the beach. Enjoy your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ami. Now we have Bob Cho of Champion Escrow. Bob, unmute the pop-up button.
Bob is not here.
Oh, Bob is not here? Okay, we move along to Annie Fan of Chicago Title. Annie.
Hi, good morning. This is Annie from Chicago Title. If you need any title help, let me know. Have an amazing Thursday.
Thank you, Annie. Next, we have Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty. Sandy.
Good morning, everyone. Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty, here to help your clients with all their home warranty needs. Have a great Thursday and try to stay cool.
Thank you, Sandy. Next, we have Sage Gomez of My NHD. Sage? Is Sage here?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Good morning, everyone. Sage Gomez of My NHG. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sage. And next we have Cindy Lee of Dreamers Corners. Hi, Cindy. Click the unmute button.
Sorry, Cindy's not here.
Cindy is not here, no problem. Next we have Brandon Savransky of First American NHD.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has a great day. Brandon Savransky with First American NHD.
Thank you, Brandon. Next we have Angie Tang of First American Title. Angie?
There I am. Hi. Oh, what happened? Oh, that's odd.
Ooh,
hi, guys.
You're in the universe.
I know. Angie Tang, First American Title, wishing everybody a happy and safe Chairman Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Next, we have Mark Wu of Allstate Insurance. Mark?
Good morning, everybody. Mark with Allstate Insurance for your property insurance needs.
Thank you, Mark. And next, we have Unita Wu of Home Warranty of America. Just click the unmute button.
Hi, Unita Wu, Home Warranty of America. Thank you for all your support. If you need any home warranty, let me know. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Unita. And next, we have John Wax of Snap NHD.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with Snap NHD Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. I'm here for you. My information's in the chat. Stay hydrated. It's going to be a hot one out there. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, John. Thank you, top affiliates. And please remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. Now we have Mindy Gay with her president's message. Mindy, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Nanette. My message is brief today. Good morning, WSGVR family and friends. I'm Mindy Ye, your 2020 president. Thank you for attending our weekly virtual MLS breakfast meeting, and we're always grateful for your continued support as a valuable member of West and Gable Valley Realtors. I would like to share this with you as we're all in this together and life is precious. Please be good to one another. Let them judge you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions aren't your problems. You stay kind, committed to love, and free in your authenticity. No matter what they do or say, don't you dare doubt your worth, the beauty of your truth. Please keep shining like you do. By Scott Staple. CAR updates. Last week, CAR sent a letter to California congressional delegation to urge Congress to take action by passing another COVID-19 relief package. CAR asked that next relief package provided funding for a rental assistance program and a homeowners assistance program. The moratoriums on eviction and foreclosures has helped bring stable the housing and protecting those financial impacts by COVID crisis. CAR urged Congress to help ensure that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the FHA purchase insured mortgage that were properly underwriting, but whose borrowers were forced to seek forbearance after the loan was originated. Lastly, CAR asked Congress continues to make improvement to the Paycheck Protection Program, that's the PPP, and the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, that's PUA program, so that the members can more easily access financial relief. I would like to thank our speaker today, Michael Lau on GLIDE, and please also join us next Thursday, August 20, 2020 at 9 a.m. Our speaker will be Paul Hong. He's an attorney and a CPA. Additional information to follow by this weekend or tomorrow, the earliest. Thank you, Nanette. Take it away.
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you for sharing your president's message. Now we have today's speaker, Michael Lau, Director of Sales of GLIDE. He will be talking about our GLIDE, which is a new program beneficial to realtors and has been installed by WSGVR as a new member benefit. Learn it here for maximum usage. If you should have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to type it in the chat box and it will be answered accordingly either through the presentation or after. Please let's welcome Michael Lau. The stage is yours, all ears and eyes on you.
Thanks, Nanette, and great to meet you all, and thank you for having us. We're really excited to be able to offer GLIDE to all of your members. If you can, Nanette, give me permission to share my screen, I can start the presentation.
Sure thing.
In the meantime, I'll say that my first job ever, besides being a camp counselor, was I worked for Electronic Imaging Solutions. I was a sophomore in high school. I was of legal age to be hired by a real company versus a summer camp I used to go to. And if anyone has ever gone on a roller coaster and gotten their picture taken of them, and then it's ready for when you walk out, that's what my job was for one summer right here at the Golden Gate Bridge. I would annoy every tourist and say, oh, okay, would you like a picture with the Kodak camera? And then they could go to the gift shop. And it was actually pretty beneficial because lots of times when you go visit the Golden Gate Bridge, if you've ever been to San Francisco, you know it's quite foggy. So a lot of times my picture was the reason why families had proof of getting in front of actually being at the Golden Gate Bridge. So that was my first job. And if you fast forward, a good 20 plus years, I am now here to talk about GLIDE.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Michael.
No problem. So you should all see my screen. It should say introducing GLIDE, the best way to do disclosures in PEDS. And when I make the screen large, I actually can't see the chat box anymore. So Nanette, if you want to just pause me as you see questions come through, I would appreciate that. And I'll stop and check in between different sections to make sure that we're closing out all this sections and everything gets answered.
Okay.
You want to answer them
as we go? You want to answer them as we go along, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
If something makes sense, I might say pause 2 minutes and I'll ask to hold off because it might make more sense later. But I'll, for the most part, answer as we go.
Okay, that sounds great.
Great. Well, West San Gabriel Valley Realtors just joined the member benefit that is GLIDE. So for those that don't know, I think a lot of people probably attended a webinar we did over the last 2 weeks with CRMLS and CAR because we have a new solution for the PED. But we are a NAR Reach company. So NAR Reach has an incubator, or NAR has an incubator called Reach, and they invest in companies that are doing good things in the realm of real estate. And for the last 3 years, we've been very focused on the issue that is seller disclosures. So the number one source of liability for you as an agent is the alleged failure of disclosure. And I think alleged is a key word there, because there are circumstances of bad actors who aren't being as forthright as they need to be when completing the process of disclosing. A lot of times it's also just a really cumbersome process, and it makes it difficult to complete properly. And as you can see on the screen here, it's not at no penalty. You know, the average claim is $30,000, and that can be more than your commission check. Now, you can see option 1 of how the disclosure forms are completed with CAR and their standard forms. And these are great because they set a standard level of compliance that you all need to follow when going through a transaction. But it's 2020, and pen and paper is not the best way to get things done, particularly in a pandemic when you are supposed to be minimizing unnecessary exposure. So things like DocuSign and ZipForm have come around, and they've taken those paper forms and they've transposed them onto a screen. But it's still relatively the same form filling experience where you're going through, filling out a PDF line by line. There's no check and balance system and no intelligence built in. So that's where Glide has come in. And we've been compared to the TurboTax of seller disclosure forms. If I'm not sure how familiar you all are with TurboTax, but they took those antiquated antiquated tax forms that have lots of jargon that the average person doesn't understand, and they turned it into like a guided interface, almost like a Q&A style interview that you're able to use to help your seller complete the forms. So, you know, tens of thousands of agents are using that for the TDS and the SBQ every year. In addition to the seller disclosures, we also help with the agent visual inspection disclosure. You can now, from your cell phone, take pictures, narrate as you're walking around a property, and get the form done while on site versus after the fact. And once you have your seller disclosures and once you have your Avid, you can now assemble a disclosure package. So you can order your NHD reports from First American, Snap, and MyNHD, among others, but I saw all their reps were here. So you can find those reps and tag them right into your Glide account and make them your primary service provider. You can connect to DocuSign and ZipForms to add in additional forms and send out for signature. And then assemble, again, just share that disclosure package with a potential buyer. And then lastly, what we've done is we've created a new workflow for the PED. So I'll go into more detail for that, but we heard the property entry advisory and declaration was a little cumbersome to get done in order to stay compliant during the pandemic. So we've helped out with that. So in terms of the value you all are going to receive from using Glide, and these are the kind of the quick just overview slides before I go into like more just a traditional demo, but as an agent, it's just a much better client experience. In 2020, your clients will largely want to be able to do things on their own independently, virtually, as opposed to having to do everything in person, pen and paper. So it's just a much better client experience. Also, because we brought everything to the cloud, you have one central workspace. And in that central workspace, you can use this for all eyes as a coordinator, as an agent to message each other, to see the status of things. And it just saves a lot of time. And then if you're a broker, you're going to like this because we significantly reduce risk. We don't let them submit incomplete answers. We've got all these tools built in to create an audit trail. You know, ultimately, the likelihood of a claim is much lower. And then just the quick validation slide here before I go into the demo is right now we've partnered, I think we now have 50 local association partners that cover 3/4 of the state. And we have about 40,000 agents that are using us on about 120,000 residential properties a year here in California. So, yep, you can see that a lot of people are using this, and it's all thanks to these great partnerships that we have with local associations like West St. Gabriel Valley. Okay.
We have a question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Why no seamless integration with ZipForms? Are you in cahoots with DocuSign?
That is a good question. We integrate with both ZipForms and DocuSign. So I will be going through kind of in the third section here of how that works. But good question. Any other ones out there?
That's the only one for now.
Cool. Okay. So I guess I'll walk you through these three things. How you'll use Glide to complete your PEDs and manage them. How you'll be able to do your TDS, SBQ, and Avid for your disclosures. And then how to integrate with key tools like DocuSign, ZipForms, and the NHD providers I mentioned so you can get everything all in one place to assemble a disclosure package. All right, so we heard that this was a big challenge. When COVID-19 started, the CAR approached us and said, hey, we've got these new forms and we've had a lot of difficulty implementing them. It's the biggest pain point and number one request we're getting on our legal hotline. And it also requires an agent to manage dozens of forms potentially for each prospect that doesn't even become a transaction, or renew new forms for each listing or transaction that they do have, because every day you need a new one for every visit. And it's all supposed to be done before actually visiting the property. And we know that that wasn't always the case. So we created an online solution, and we even integrated that with CRMLS. So right from the listing page, you can click a button. It'll jump right into a guided workflow where we already have lots of information from the listing and from the agent information. So it automatically fills out 3/4 of the form for you, and then you can send out for signature. So I'll show you kind of what all that looks like, and then we just give you a centralized hub to manage all that. So we'll show you how to do that with buyer's agents, so you can do it directly from CRMLS, or for listing agents, so you can do it directly from a transaction that you've started. So to start with buyer agents, I'm not sure if you all have noticed, but there's a new button on every listing. So under the image, and actually yesterday added to the agent remarks, you'll see a button that says use PED and Glide during COVID-19. And if you are an agent and you are interested in taking some prospects to this property, you click this button and it'll immediately send you to this page right here. So this page has information on the property, 11 Edwards Avenue, also on the listing agent, Dante Chesa in this case, and allows you to click that sign PED button to start filling out the form. And because we use an integration with CRMLS, which includes single sign-on, so we're able to pull your information as a buyer's agent, we already fill out the address, the agent, the buyer's agent, and the listing agent that are all affiliated with this form. So you'll only need to add the agent information if there's an additional agent that's joining. So we automatically add, you here. You'll have to add in the buyer's information. So it'll be as simple as typing in, if they already are in your Glide database, which I'll show you in a moment, they can be added here, or you can create a new contact with just name and email. And then it assumes it already adds the property information, because that's been something that's tagged on the listing page itself. If you're taking them to multiple properties, you can do that all from Glide. We know that CAR supports multiple addresses on one PED forms, but we heard from a lot of agents that they actually don't like that, and because they don't like sharing the other listings that people are going to. So we actually separate that out into different forms, and it's a pretty smart and automated way of doing it that I'll show you in a moment. But you can add additional properties here, and you can see this summary of all the different people, like the agent, the buyers, any other entrants if you added like an inspector or a mortgage lender or something like that. And if you have any exceptions, we've actually just added in the different exceptions that Glide or that CAR includes on the form. And if there's any exceptions, you can add those in here. And then you link your zip form account. So someone asked out there, do we have a seamless integration? We do, in fact, have a seamless integration. You just click link the account. And the number one most common request we get on our customer support is, I'm having trouble linking my zip form account. And this frame is key, because you can see that you either have to use your Zip Form Plus credentials, your NAR credentials, or your CAR credentials. Okay. This is as large as I can share my screen, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Would you like to answer a few questions then? We have a couple at the end too. So we have one from Tomas, and he was very pleased to use Glide to fill out the first PED form when he was showing a property. He said it was very easy to use. What are the features by upgrading versus a free version?
That's a good question. I think some of those I'll be able to answer, Tomas, later when I'm showing you the TDS. But
okay. Tomas might know how to make the screen larger. And the next question will be, when will lease forms be ready in Glide? John Hua was unable to create PED forms for leases. Thanks, Michael.
Yes. So right now, this is a solution for the PED-V, not the PED-LR or the PED-S. We have been told the most common thing to tackle first was the PED-V. I don't have a date on when you'll be able to use it for the LR or the S.
Okay. And when Carol asked, when we create the PED forms in Glide, how do you get signatures from buyers? Like DocuSign, you can get signatures on DocuSign. How do you get signatures from buyers for the
Give
PED?
me like 2 minutes and you'll see, Carol.
Great. Okay, Thomas responded and he said to make the screen larger, PowerPoint play the slide presentation. Does that make sense?
So that's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
This is a screenshot from, sorry about that. I'll make sure to send this deck out after so you all can review it.
Okay.
And we offer webinars 4 days a week as well, Monday through Thursday, that are always live. So you can always join another one.
Okay.
So yeah, I encourage you all to, I know that many of you haven't had to log into ZipForm for a few years. So I encourage you all to just figure out how to do it once and then you'll never have to do it again with Glide. So once you've linked to your ZipForm account, you'll see I mentioned that we split it out into 2 separate forms. So it creates 2 forms for 30 Greenbrier Circle and for 11 Edwards Avenue because they are 2 different addresses. And the system's smart, so it knows that you can only have 3 people visiting or on each form. So because I had 4 people, I had 2 buyers, the agent, and another entrant, it automatically breaks it out so you have 3 on one version of 30 Greenbrier Circle and 1 on the other version of 30 Greenbrier Circle. And then we do the same thing for 11 Edwards Avenue. So you have all these forms, and then there's a button that says send for signature. You can take a quick look at the form to see what it looks like. And then you have 2 options. If you use Digital Ink, you can click the button. It'll open a new window right into ZipForms, and then you'll be able to send out for Digital Ink as you already know it. And we have very just basic support for that. But if you use DocuSign, we actually have a much tighter integration. So if you link your DocuSign account, we will automatically add all the tabs where signatures and initials are needed. So this is pretty helpful just because if you have, you know, maybe 3 different property visits and 4 people, that's going to lead to 6 different forms, and we'll automatically add all these tabs in for you. And then once it's out for signature, you can see that we note that we've created John and Jane Doe in the top left as buyer prospects, and I'll show you where that lives. You can see that it's out for signature. Once they actually are signed, it'll change to signed, and you can see that the different documents are there. And we make it really easy for you to regenerate new forms for these individuals too. So you can see that this is quick access for July 23rd. If they went somewhere else on July 28th or August 7th, they would all be little tiles here that you can click into, resend for signature, or just open up the forms as is and see everyone involved. So once that's complete, you have this buyer prospects page. So we've created this kind of central hub, and on this central hub, every buyer prospect that you've ever needed to fill out a PED form for, you can pull right from here, and you can regenerate the forms again or create new ones on a given day. So we heard that one of the things is that ZipForms got a little bit messy with all the different PED forms that were created for these potential buyer prospects that weren't real transactions yet. So we were able to create this new section called buyer prospects to manage that entirely. And as you can note, when you use the integration with CRMLS, it will automatically pre-fill the property information and send the information to the listing agent once fully signed. But if you were to do it outside, if you were to do it directly from Glide instead of CRMLS, by just clicking that buy new buyer prospect, we still give you the option to automatically send it to the listing agent once it's fully signed. All right, so that is the buyer workflow from the CRMLS page and how to manage and send out for signature. I'll quickly show you what it looks like for listing agents too. So again, this is from glide.com. This is your main dashboard. So you can see all of your different transactions, not buyer prospects, because this is for a listing agent. All your transactions will live here. If I click on 11 Edwards Avenue, it would then take me to this set of, quote, chores or tasks to complete. So I'll show you the prepare seller disclosures in 1 minute. But we obviously are talking about the fill and sign a PED. If you click that fill and sign a PED button, again, we already know 11 Edwards Avenue. We already know the listing agent information. So it'll automatically fill out those things, and it'll only ask for the buyer agent information or the visitor information. So again, it pre-fills most of it for you. And if you go to the left where it says visitors, we actually maintain a full visitors log on your behalf. Because these things are coming from CRMLS or you've generated them from your own Glide account, we've got this official visitors log where all your PEDs are stored. You can see when people visited, what day they visited, and the source in which it came from. So you can see a lot of these, it says the MLS. But if you look at the top, it says accept PEDs with this link. So you can copy that link and you can send it to a buyer's agent directly, or you can email it directly, or send it to a text, send it via text message, or you can put it in the agent remarks or on your website. And that creates the same form that I showed you earlier. So the same, it's like basically a landing page for that property. And when anyone visits that, they can click on it and start filling out a PED, and it'll automatically get returned here. And that's what this page looks like. I know I showed you that already, but here it is. And then anyone who fills out a form, again, their information will get returned right to this visitor log. So I'll pause there. That's what I have for the PED. I want to go into what we've been doing for the last 3 years with seller disclosures, but Nanette might have some questions she wants me to answer first.
Sure. Okay, we have one from Lorraine Clark. I can't get my zip forms connected. It keeps saying my credentials are not recognized, but they are directly with CAR.
Okay, so I'm going to recommend 2 things. One, make sure that on the drop-down, you're choosing the thing that says CAR credentials, not NAR credentials or zip form credentials. 2, go to glide.com, create your account, and we have a customer support team that can also help you out with it. So glide.com, create an account, takes less than 2 minutes, and they will be able to help you out with it.
Okay, great. That's the only questions since the last questions.
Cool. Great. So you've got your PEDs completed. Now I'll show you what we do for the disclosure forms. And I think the best way to see this is by what your seller experienced. So there's a lead up here where we integrate with zip forms, as you know, and you can pull in transactions from zip forms into Glide. And you can then invite a seller to complete their seller disclosures. So in this circumstance, everything you're seeing right now is what your sellers will experience. And they will get an email that says, whatever you want it to be, like, hey, you need to fill out these disclosure forms, click the big blue button below to get started. And when Sally, the seller, clicks that, the first thing she sees is this disclosure information advisory. And what this is we know that you have a standard level of care that you need to demonstrate as an agent. And because we've now brought this process online, we've added the DIA directly into the workflow, and Sally, the seller, needs to click I accept before she ever starts actually filling out seller disclosure forms. And we get that on the record. So if there ever is a claim, I'll show you where that audit trail is left after the fact. But again, just hoping this can help you. It's almost like the terms and conditions before you buy something, right? You're tracking and making sure that Sally has read through this beforehand. And then it goes into the different questions. So on the TDS, you can see it's all mobile optimized on the right, which of the following items the property have. And then you'll see that, you know, one of the things is a pick list, and maybe your seller doesn't know what 220 volt wiring is. So if they click on the little eye icon, it'll show a picture as you see here. And if I were to scroll through this box, it would include written explanations as well. If the pictures and the written explanations aren't enough, we actually have this right here, which will allow you, the seller, to ask you a question. And the system's smart, so it'll bundle together a bunch of those questions, and you'll get one email that says, hey, it looks like your seller has, you know, 5 questions. Please respond. And you can directly message and collaborate whether it's sending an email or just logging into Glide and filing a response. And this is probably when either these pictures or here is when they're calling you. You might be in the middle of a listing appointment. You don't pick up the phone. So there's a, they skip the question and don't get back to it, or they put the pen down and don't finish filling out the forms. So the goal here is to eliminate some of that back forth, give them the help content, and then a messaging tool that the rest of your listing team, like your TC, can also respond to, or at least flag to you that you need a response. And I mentioned there's an audit trail. You can see 5 up from the bottom. Sally Seller accepted the seller advisory regarding completing the TDS. You can also see when forms are started and created and different things are added here, or new documents are uploaded. So again, you have a bit of a proof point here of all the action and diligence that is taken in the process. And we give you a certificate you can then send out too. And we also find that we get much more elaborate answers. So when they are actually filling out the form, you have a text box. So if you're asked about a structural modification on a home, if you only have 3 lines, you may not be inclined to fill out and elaborate as much. With a text box, we find we get much longer answers, and then we automatically just place things in this overflow addendum very neatly and seen at the end here. And one of the most important things, as I mentioned earlier, is we don't allow them to skip questions. So you can see on the left, there's these little green check marks next to the different sections, but the property issues section does not have that. And we say, hey, you skipped these 2 questions. Would you like to answer them? We do not give them the satisfaction of completion till they've actually filled out these forms. So that is kind of an overview of how we were used on the TDS SPQ. I think we've got 10 forms with a guided interface. And then we also have an integration with zip forms. So all those boilerplate forms, I'm going to show you in a moment how to pull those in. Nanette, do you have any questions over there?
Oh, yes, I do. I have a question from Earl Knutson. Can you print for wet signatures without entering buyer's email, or is this only DocuSign usage?
So you can always download these forms directly from Glide. So right from here, you as an agent will get the option to download the form, and then you can print it out. Or you can send it out for signature via DocuSign, or even DigitalInc by going into zip forms, going to the partner tab, and sending out for signature. But to answer your question, yes, you can download, print, and send out for wet signature.
Okay, great. That is the only question for now. There is a comment, Control+ to enlarge screen or fit to screen.
Unfortunately, when you can't do that when you're already in presentation mode. So I'm sorry, folks. All of you, if you double click your Zoom app, your Zoom window, it automatically puts it. Oops. Puts it in. Yeah, it makes it full screen. That might help.
Okay. I think it's for some they can't see. For others, they're fine. Okay, we can move on then.
Cool. Sorry, folks. All right. So one of the questions that was asked was, what are the benefits of the pro version versus the member benefit version? So this is one version. We've come out with something called the premium seller disclosures. With premium seller disclosures, what you get is we worked with CAR and real estate attorneys with dozens of years of experience to identify the 18 most common questions for claims. And we've put in a little bit of text here. So we put in this little red siren that says issue spotter. And when they're answering the question, they know, okay, this is something they need to pay attention to. And then we've provided expert content. So we'll never tell them how to answer the question, but it's the same recommendations that a real estate attorney or risk management professional might lead of, like, hey, if you have a recurring maintenance issue, you should upload an invoice here. So we encourage them to upload documentation and elaborate on different things. And you can also see we have this semantic analysis, which means, like, if you have something like, there's a small crack, you're not supposed to use adjectives and subjective words. This isn't a marketing piece. This is your observations as a seller. So we automatically add that in and warn sellers to change the different language there. So that's one thing I'll note. That is one of the benefits of using the pro version. In addition, We do a lot of cool things with the Avid as well. So we have a similar tool that does the semantic analysis and tells agents, hey, don't use these words like mold or leak, and instead use more objective language. If you want your seller to have this and you don't have Glide Pro, they can purchase it themselves for $100 a transaction. And I mentioned that with the Avid, it's really easy. I'd say this is one of the most popular things. You can go to glide.com from any phone, smartphone. We recommend you use the Google Chrome browser, but any web browser works. We do not have an application at this time. But if you go to glide.com and log in, you can literally just walk around from room to room. You can narrate using voice to text, and you can take pictures. So if you see a crack on the wall, you can take that picture and it automatically attaches that to your disclosure package. And again, this is, you have the option of always downloading the forms, whether it's the Avid or the TDS and SBQ, and print out, or it automatically will stay in your dashboard at Glide, so you can assemble a disclosure package, which is what I was going to show you next. But I'll pause to see if there's any questions from that.
Okay, great, Michael. We do have one going back to Earl Newton's question. There was a clarification he needed about the email. He had asked, can you print for wet signatures without entering buyer's email? He tried to leave out the buyer's email, but it would not move in ahead, and it was incomplete. They wanted a third-party information like Zillow.
Got it. So in order to add someone to fill out the form, like the PED, you do need to add an email. But if you don't send it out for signature, they won't receive that email. So then you can just download the form and print it from there. So you can add the email, but not send the form for signature. So Earl, to answer your question, you are required to add an email, but you are not required to send the email, and instead you can just download it and print it for wet signature.
Okay, great. Thank you, Michael. The next question is from Thomas Wong. Does Glide have apps version for smartphones and iPads?
Coming soon. Right now it is mobile optimized, so from any web browser you can pull it up and use it. But as of now, there's no app. That'll come by the end of the year.
Okay, great. And
Cool.
yep, that's it for now.
Great. Can I get a quick time check, Nanette? I'm sorry, my screen is covering my clock.
Sure, it's 9:44.
Great. I think I have another 6 minutes and we will be on par. So you've completed your PEDs, you've completed your seller disclosures, you've completed your Avid. We now give you the tools to assemble a disclosure package. So this is your dashboard from glide.com. If you've created a transaction, this is your dashboard for the specific transaction. In this case, that is 13092 Harwick Lane. And if you click request seller disclosures, that's kind of that flow that I showed you of inviting someone and then the seller to complete them. If you click complete Avid, that's how you actually complete your Avid. And again, it's just taking pictures and whatnot. But there's another button there that says Docs. It's to the right of where it says workflow, it says Docs. And if you click that button, you can pull forms in directly from Zip Forms. So I did mention that we have, I believe it's actually about 15 forms with a guided interface. So turning the static form into this more Q&A style interview. So that's the TDS, the SBQ, the lead-based paint form, the exempt seller disclosure, the parking and storage disclosure, the manufactured home disclosures, and a few more, right? But for all those boilerplate forms that just need name, date, and signature, you can pull those in because we have access to the entire Zip Form disclosure library. And if your brokerage has a Zip Form folder, you can draw from that too. So you can pull those in from Zip Forms into Glide. And we've got some cool auto splitting features too. So maybe you're on the purchase side and maybe someone sends you a disclosure package that's one PDF that's 45 pages. If you upload it to Glide, we have an auto splitting feature and it'll read each individual page. And as it shows on the right, it'll actually break them out, you know, page by page of what form it is. And then you can send out for signature via DocuSign. So this can be the forms that we've helped you generate. Things you pull in from zip forms. You can upload an invoice that you had pulled from your desktop. All that can be sent out for signature all through our DocuSign integration. And I did mention that you are allowed to order your NHD reports here. So you can order your NHD report. It'll also be returned to that same documents area and send out for signature via DocuSign. I think I saw people from First American, My NHD, and Snap here. So you can actually add them in and make them your designated service provider. So every time you create a transaction, instead of having to select different forms, it'll say, hey, do you want to order again from John or Sage or whoever it may be. And then in addition to those three brands, JCP, Property ID, Disclosure Source, we've also added Disclosure Save and NHD Go as well. So once you've actually completed those, your disclosure package and it's fully assembled, you've sent it out for signatures after the zip form and NHD and DocuSign integrations, you can create a cover sheet and you can actually directly email this disclosure package directly to, say, a buyer's agent. Or if you notice there's a quote buy link option, and if you click buy link, we host your disclosure package online for you, and you can put in on your website or in the agent remarks that link, which will automatically link out to your disclosure package. Now, if you want, you can require that people like have permission or at least leave contact information. But when they view this online and they click on a PDF or they download it, we actually track, hey, John Smith visited, clicked on it, downloaded. He only reviewed 6% of it online, and it was last done on October 29th. But you get a sense for like who are the really interested buyers, and get a sense for some of those hot leads, I guess. So I'll pause there. That is how to use us for the PED, to use us for disclosure, to complete disclosure forms, and then how to assemble a disclosure package and share it out. I've obviously listed a few resources here that are really helpful. We do webinars every Monday through Thursday, live webinars with Valerie and Anastasia from our team. So I'll pause because I know I only have a couple more minutes, but are there other questions, Annette, that people wanted to get answered?
Yes, there are. But first, the comment is Glide by Earl. Glide is the next powerhouse in compliance. This is going to be
Thank you,
great.
Earl.
Okay, I have a question from Ling Chow. Is DocuSign free from Glide?
It is not. You need to link your existing DocuSign account.
Okay.
But digital ink is free with zip forms. And if you go to glide.com, or I'm sorry, if you go to zip forms and you click on a transaction, there's a partner tab. And if you click on the partner tab, you can click on Glide, pull the forms from Glide into zip forms and send out for free via digital ink. So we obviously have a much better integration. So we have like that auto tabbing thing with the PED and with other forms like I mentioned. So I think it might be worth paying for, but you do have that option with zip forms and digital ink as well.
Okay, great. I believe that was the last question. So you've been great in answering the questions throughout the presentation. So we don't have as many at the end. So everybody's clarified? No more questions? Okay, great. Thank you.
Well,
let me see.
And really quickly, everyone, so I mentioned you can go to glide.com. Oh, more questions. Will WSGVR do an in-house training? Annette, I'll let you take that. But we're happy to train your trainers or your staff on how to use Glide. We've got a lot of great resources.
Okay. I'm sure we'll have it in one of the education classes. That would be just to be determined, so stay tuned.
Yep. Well,
okay.
I just want to thank everyone for having me. You can go to glide.com/PED for more information on how the PED stuff works. Glide.com/pro if you're interested in things like the premium seller disclosures, among other things. And we have a great customer support team. As I said, we do webinars Monday through Thursday that are intros, also a PED specific one every Wednesday. You can find those on the website. And then our support team is available from 9 to 5:30 every Monday through Friday. And they're really responsive. So unless there's anything else, Nanette, I'll dip out of here, and thank you all for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. On behalf of WSGVR, we'd like to thank you as our speaker and enriching us with the knowledge of this new GLIDE program. Now we move on to our attendance drawing for our Amazon gift cards. Please remember, you must be a WSGVR member to be eligible to win. And your member name must be displayed. No telephone numbers will be accepted. And also, if you are a winner, please remember to type it in the chat box. Please type it in the chat box that you're here so we can verify and identify you so that we may send you your gift card from Amazon. And please also enter your name as it appears on our directory. Okay, let's start with the first. David Lai, he is here and ready to win.
Okay, I accidentally hit it. I think this is the first one.
Okay, Karen Chen. Is Karen Chen here? Congratulations to you, Karen. If you're here, please type in the chat box.
I don't see Karen Chen.
Karen, no Karen. Okay, we will remove her and there will be room for another winner. Okay, our next one is another Karen, spelled differently. Karen Bowie. Is Karen Bowie here? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your last name. If you are, please type in the chat box. Is Karen here? Karen Bowie is present. Congratulations, Karen. A $10 Amazon gift card is coming to you. Next, number 2 winner. Let's see who we have. What color do we have? Is it a yellow? For Sharon or Sherry Chalk? Sherry Chalk, are you here?
Don't look at it. Call 3 times. I don't think this person's here.
No, Sherry Chalk, no. Okay, then we will move on. We will remove Sherry and go to the next winner. Next one, let's see. Next one will be Tom Berge. Is Tom Berge here? I'm not sure if that's junior or senior.
It's senior, but it's senior. If it's junior, it'll be junior. But Tom Berge is not here.
Okay, Tom, he's not here. That's like the second time he's won, huh? He's a lucky winner.
He is.
Okay, let's remove Tom and go with our next winner. Our next winner is Mary Tang. Mary Tang, congratulations if you are here.
I don't see Mary Tang. Call 3 times.
Mary Tang, Mary Tang, Mary Tang. No Mary Tang. Let's remove Mary Tang and go on with the next winner.
How many more? 2 more or 1 more?
2. This is second. We're looking for the second winner. Plenty of chances for others to win.
James Chen.
James Chen? Do we see James Chen?
No.
James Chen?
3 times.
No James Chen. Okay, let's move on.
Call the people that's here, okay?
I'm hoping they're here. Chi Leng.
Chi is here. Chi, reply, please. Chi.
Wow. Is Chi here?
Chi is here, but she needs to reply, or he.
Wow, you're psychic, Ling. She's here?
Yeah, but I don't know. He's not replying. Call the name.
He or she has to reply. Chi Liang. Must reply in the chat box to win, please. Reply in the chat box. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Okay.
It's like in the auditorium, like you're in the bathroom or you're doing something, you know? So it probably left.
They probably went to do gardening. Okay, let's remove Chi and go on with the next winner. Let's see who will be the second winner. Lucky second winner. This will be Kurt Chen. Is Kurt Chen here?
Kurt is here. Kurt, reply, please. Kurt is here.
Reply, Kurt. Kurt, just the little Y-E-S. Kurt. Kurt is not here.
Now we know how many people have a meeting turned on and disappeared.
They're having coffee outside. Okay. Let's move on to the next winner. You must be here. You can't log on and go take a nap.
No, okay. Oh, somebody has a message. Let's see what it says.
Let's see who is here.
Oh, Carol Wong says very funny.
Mel
Mel
Wong.
Wong.
Okay, Mel Wong, you better not be sleeping. Let's see.
Mel Wong,
Mel, I know you're
you know
here.
how to- Can you do a text saying that you're here, Mel?
She's here. Congratulations, Mel is here. Thank you for staying with us. Okay,
Last one, right? Is this the last one?
Yes, this
Last
is the
one.
last one. Yay for Mel. Okay, last one. Let's see who this belongs to. Nifeng Gong.
Not here.
Nifeng Gong's not here. Is
Sign
that
up
your
but not
psychic, your psychic ability?
No, no, no. I typed their name.
Okay.
Congratulations. Correct me. Why is Sean saying that? Okay.
I'm saying congratulations to Mel.
Oh, Mel. I didn't see the Mel. I see me.
No.
Staffer Snow. Karen, that's the second time. Maybe you should just take it.
No. You should take the staff out. Stafford Snow.
Yeah, it's Karen Snow. Now I know Snow White is Karen Snow, and now she's Staffer Snow, AKA Snow Staffer. Charlton Wang. Is Charlton Wang here?
No.
Charlton Wang. Charlton Wang.
Not here.
Not here. Okay, let's remove Charlton Wang and go on with our next. Okay. Let's see who this is. Yang Xiao Ye. Yang
Here.
Xiao Ye.
Here.
Is Yang Xiao Ye here?
Here, but you have to
Let's
text
see.
it.
Here. She is here. Congratulations, Yang Xiao. A gift card is coming to you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Please remember to join us in our education classes. The next one coming up, if you have not renewed your, if you need to renew your license this year, we have license renewal education class coming up August 14th. It's a Friday, 9:30 to 12:30. If you've missed that one, the next one is the following week, license renewal also, August 21st, also 9:30 to 12:30. And we also have August 17th, 9:30 to 12:30 is our Zip Form Plus training class. And followed by the next day, Safer at Home and Learn. Modernize your farm and get more listings in these times. Who doesn't want more listings? And that is August 18th, 11 to 12 p.m. Our next meeting will be August 20th at 9 a.m. And our speaker will be Paul Horn, attorney of Paul Horn Law Group. And he will be speaking about living trust and probate, and also about what to do before and after your homeowner dies. I am Nanette Ong of Coldwell Banker George Realty, your August MLS program chair. Please also remember to support our affiliates with your transactions. This meeting is now adjourned. Enjoy your day, everyone. Bye.